Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my favorite rosy tone palettes. If you've been around my channel for a while, you might realize that rose tones are some of my absolute favorites, and some of these they lean on the more rosy neutral, some may be a little bit more of a true rosy or rosy pink. I've got price range ranging from drugstore all the way through luxury. I've got my pretty large stack here and in no particular order. Let's just get into it. Let's start with an affordable one. I've got the e.l.f. Bite Size Eyeshadow Palette in the shade Rose Water. Again, I love these. I think they're, when I bought the Bite Size collection for the first time, they were $3, but they may have gone up $1, but still super affordable. Really beautiful on the eye. You've got your transition shade, a shade to deepen up or to use on the lash line, and then you have a couple of shimmers to pop on the lid. Again, I love this. It's great for travel. Not that I travel, but it is great for travel. It's great if you're on a budget, but you still want some pinky, rosy, neutral tones in your collection. And I often like to compare this one to the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. If you have been around my channel for any length of time, you'll know that this is probably my most used palette in my collection. I feel like this, though it came out first, this is a more high-end, also more elaborate version of this. I feel like if this had a mini palette, this one would be it. So I do love these. I love the tone range. I love how curated it is. I mean, some of the neutral shades and even the shimmers can look very similar on the eyelids, but that would be my only complaint, which again, this is like a perfect curation of this if you are on a budget. And as far as my knowledge goes, they are both still available. I've got a couple of Natasha Denona minis here. The first one is the mini rose palette. You can find all of these, and I believe it's the retro palette, which I did not actually include in this curation here because I feel like those are more pinky tones. I may have included them in my berry toned eyeshadows, but these ones I feel like lean just a little bit more neutral, just the way the curation of the colors themselves are. But definitely more pinky, rosy, neutral, hence the name Mini Rose. I do like this one. Again, if you are traveling, it would be great. It's good, like you got your transition color, a setting shade, a deepening up shade, and a couple of shimmers to pop on the lid. So I feel like it's another great option and could really be a good dupe for this one if you are wanting to splurge a little bit. But again, this one, the e.l.f. one, would still work just fine if you're on a budget. It also would be a good alternative to this one, just a little bit smaller on the price point. Well, this is $25. This is around the $50 price point, or actually I think these ones maybe $27 now, but still both really good quality. I'm a Natasha Denona lover. There's a little bit bias there, but this is my most used palette in my collection. And again, I think all of these, it should probably go without saying, all of these are probably pretty good dupes or alternatives for each other, depending on like specific preferences that you do have. I do have one Colourpop palette, and that is the Colourpop Blush Crush. This is going to be your more pinky, rosier tones, not as neutral, but still, in my opinion, neutral enough. I feel like this palette goes really well with my shirt too. Again, I love these. You've got a little bit more of your mauve tones, your like almost rosy purples, I would say, like down here, and your like wine colors. And then up here, you've got your more one and done shades, neutral transitions. This is a really good curated palette if you are on a budget as well. Next, let's go into some more of my higher end stuff, and the Natasha Denona I Need A Nude palette. Again, a beautiful one. This is, oops, those just fell out and I think shattered. That makes me so sad. About 4 of these shades completely just fell out of my palette. I was able to save all of them. I'm going to have to repress them and probably rearrange them, so I'm going to have to be careful. I've heard of this happening before, but this is the first time this happened with me with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow. I think it's just the magnetic background, but nothing I can't save, and again, I'm probably going to have to rearrange these, but or I can just keep them the way they are. It really doesn't matter. So be careful with the Natasha Denona palettes. This is the first time I've ever had that problem, but I know it happens. Again, this is one of your more neutrals, like not as rosy pink, more like true rosy neutrals, if that's what you're into. I know this is a very good everyday kind of workable, wearable palette. And I have also compared this quite a bit to the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I think that the neutrals in here are a little bit deeper, a little bit more pink leaning, where the ones in this palette are a little bit more neutral. But again, both work really well for each other. And so see if I can get a side-by-side best I can without hurting the palette. But yeah, I feel like these are definitely a little bit more cool toned as well, whereas the Natasha Denona is a little bit more neutral leaning. But still, I mean, if you have this one, you probably don't need this one. If you never picked up this one, this would also be a good alternative, but this one is a little bit more pricey. From what I last saw on the websites and as I'm keeping up with makeup. Another one, probably the most expensive palette in this collection, would be the Pat McGrath Divine Rose. These are definitely more of your soft neutrals, not as bold, but again, very wearable. You've got a little bit more, I feel like these have a little bit more of a golden undertone than some of the other ones I shared, but still rosy, a little bit warmer, but still very beautiful, very wearable, but you're not going to get like a full sparkly effect. I feel like this is one of those items that if you really want a very soft, glam, very blendable palette, again, I'm so glad I picked this up. It was on my wish list for so long and I finally had an opportunity to get it, and I did. So next we've got the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2. These are definitely going to be more of your true rosy pinks, a little bit more warmer. Like I know that these two shades here are going to have that more reddish undertone in it. You've got some deeper couple of shades here. You've got your two creams and you've got your more true rosy tones. This palette does pull very warm and very pink on my skin tone, but again, I love it. It's going to be great, especially if you are wanting more of that true rosy tone color story. And the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Nudes palette, I love this palette. I am getting a little away from Too Faced a little bit just because I don't like some of what they're doing with their makeup line. Same with Urban Decay, but these are a couple of older palettes in my collection that I still feel like are very good. But I do want to be careful when it comes to talking about them. But this one here I feel like is very beautiful, very neutral. You can get a little bit more glam if you're wanting your more glamorous shades. I love how the shades are set up to where you've got your matte, your shimmer, your matte, or your shimmer, your matte. I just like how easy that is. So if you are just wanting to do a quick and easy look, pop this on the crease, pop this on the lid, and you're good to go, which for me is an ideal like quick look. So again, very beautiful. And then I've got a couple of BoxyCharm palettes next. The Wander Beauty in Neutral palette. I have compared this to both the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude and the Urban Decay Naked 3. And again, same stands. Definitely your more neutral with pink leaning, very wearable shades, very easy to use. I like them just as much as I like the other two. The formula is beautiful. And again, it's such a wearable, wonderful palette for me. Then a newer one for my collection, I got this in last month's BoxyCharm, but it is the Girlactic The Essential palette. Again, it's your more soft glam. You're not gonna get like super bold shimmers, but you are gonna get some of those rosy tones. And this is not a full rosy palette, but I feel like some of the shades here do lean a little bit more rosy. The two red ones, this one here, and then you've got your more neutral shades, even your cooler tone like blue and a gray to kind of tie everything together. So not as rosy as maybe the other ones, but still rosy enough to where I wanted to include it. If you are wanting something rosy, but still a little bit different. And the last palette I have to show you today is the Morphe 35C Everyday Chic. This is going to be your larger palette. You are going to have your greens and you're going to have, but your more pink tone. So again, not a fully rosy toned palette, but enough to where I wanted to put it in this, if you are wanting your rosy tones and then some. Again, you've got like your sparkly foil. I think this one is, I think, a pressed glitter. Yeah, this is your pressed glitter here, which I don't mind in a palette. I think it adds a pop of fun. You've got your greens down here. You've got a couple of cooler tone purples here, and like your rosy neutrals on top. And then on the second row, you have your more rosy pinks. So again, another one, if you are wanting, I'm basically going to call this Rosy Toned Plus. Same with this one. But that's everything in this roundup. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I do videos focusing on beauty and lifestyle, and my goal on this platform is to share my love for beauty as well as my love for Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. If that's what you're into, hit that subscribe button. And if not, but you still want to stick around, I'd love to have you hit that subscribe button. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.